Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Omni Lucid Media channel. Hopefully, everybody's having a great day. I don't know how many people are in here now. I know there's going to be one watching. Thank you for being here. We're going to get this shared out. I'll go ahead and throw that up on the Twitters and all that. But anyway, here we are joined with the creators, the owners of this beautiful company, Omni Lucid Media. To whatever side this is, we have Brian Skull over here. Brian, how are you, my friend?
Yo, pretty good, man. How you doing?
Great. I'm great, man. I'm doing terrific. And we have the other co-owner, creator of Omni Lucid down below us. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How's it going, guys?
It's great, man. It's greys. And of course, I'm Ors, guys, here to moderate this crazy whatever this is. Today we're going to give a little, we'll take some questions. If you guys are out there asking questions, we'll kind of fill you in on what's going on with Omni Lucid. If you guys are watching this on the replay, feel free to leave comments down below, ask us questions about our own game, about this new thing that we've been doing on the channel, which is playthroughs, which Ryan's been killing those, man. Nice job on those playthroughs you've been doing, man. And it looks like you and Ashley are having a blast. So,
oh yeah, definitely. But I'll save all that for when we get to that in a minute.
Right, absolutely. And then Brian Skull, of course, with the artwork and bringing just the whole aesthetic to this company, the channel, the games, all of that stuff, man. And then I think after this, what we'll do is we did a Champions of Midgard playthrough that will go live after this stream. I got to create a thumbnail for it. So once I do that, we'll get that out. And that'll be all three of us playing, which is really cool. That was a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth. So if you guys like good humor, guys busting on each other, man, that's a good time. So anyway, real quick, Brian, I'm going to let you can tell everybody where they can find you specifically. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get this shared out for the evening. So Brian, tell us where everybody.
Oh, just, artist, graphic design, just a little bit of everything. So, you can find me at, let me see, Omni Lucid Media. We have Instagram, Facebook, and obviously YouTube. So we do have the website event that we will be using more eventually, which is of the same, omnilucidmedia.com. So yeah, it's pretty much on all the places.
Awesome, man. Make sure you guys go check out Brian Skull's personal channels. I think you have a lot to offer there. Ryan, my brother, tell people where they can find you personally if they have questions, if they need to know more about what it is you guys do.
Yeah, pretty much just the same stuff. Like Brian said, the Instagram, Facebook. Already had a few people reaching out. Obviously, comments in the YouTube. Anyway, people want to do, get a hold of us.
Absolutely, guys. The web address, do we have an email, right, that people can get a hold of us at omnilucidmedia.com, right? Or at Gmail?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. There you go. So omnilucidmedia at Gmail. So hit us up there, guys, if you have any questions. We're pretty good about getting back to people. I know these guys take really a lot of care and feedback and stuff like that. They're very receptive to it. So the more criticism, the better. We want to make the best game possible for you guys. And we want to bring you some of the best content. So with that being said, guys, let's get into it. Where's my phone? I know we had a whole itinerary here that we wanted to talk about. New subscribers, guys. Let's talk about that. Ryan, do you want to touch base a little bit on the new subscribers and all the beautiful people? Becky, real quick. Hey, how you doing, Becky? Thank you for being here. Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Becky. I appreciate all the love and support that you give, not only me, but being here, showing support for all of us, these gentlemen here. Way more to come. But anyway, so tell us a little bit of how you're feeling about the subscribers and all that stuff. It's been really good. We've had some really good growth on the channel.
Yeah, we've been picking up way faster than I kind of expected to. I think everyone's really enjoying what's coming out here lately. Seems like the playthroughs are kind of what's doing it right now, but hopefully that's letting everyone check out Drakkar as well, and going from there. But yeah, I think we've jumped up probably in the last week, maybe I don't even know now. Like
almost 10 at least, just in the last few days.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say this last week. I feel like it was probably a good 25 or so.
Yeah,
and definitely been noticing the comments on the YouTube stuff a little bit more. So yeah, we just wanted to say thanks for coming out and checking out what we're doing and supporting us. And yeah, we got more to come.
Yeah,
absolutely,
thanks,
absolutely.
Can't thank you enough, because you know, it's taken the passion and trying to do something with it, and when people respond and support it, it's always a good feeling. So
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. You know, and as somebody who's been trying to grow his own channel for a while, it's not always easy to have those weeks where you can get 12, 13 subscribers, you know, and whatnot. But yeah, no, we've been cranking out on the channel. I know the video that we put out recently for was it Super Fantasy Brawl that you did, the playthrough has been doing great on the channel. So thank you all to you new subscribers who checked out that video, who've been sharing the stuff, who've been just supporting us. There is a lot to come with this company, and I promise you guys, if you invest your time with us, we will do everything we can to make it worth your time. For you guys to be here, to take the time to listen to what we got to say about anything, it really does mean the world to us. I know these guys have poured their heart and soul into this company, into these games that they're developing, even games in general. I mean, these guys are talking about Kickstarters that they've been like supporting for a couple of years now, almost, right? Do you have any Kickstarters that you've been waiting for a while now?
Oh man,
Ryan?
What's coming? It's coming soon. Unsettled. Yeah, like it's been more than a year, right? I think.
I don't know. It's close. If
yeah.
not, I honestly I can't remember when that one actually. Yeah, actually, I want to say it was somewhere around November last year. That seems
okay.
Right.
Yeah, and so yeah, I mean, it's a sci-fi game that is. I mean, it came around just at the right time. I was looking at the overall sci-fi themes that you find in board games, and a lot of them, you know, you usually get like one of a few themes, and one of them is just like blow stuff up and shoot stuff, and then like and then the other stuff is just like spaceship stuff and traveling stuff. So this game came around and it was like, well, what happens if you explore a planet and, you know, like you're in survival mode and you're having to battle, you know, more than just shooting aliens, but like, you know, a spore that goes into your lungs and suddenly you can only breathe water. You know what I mean? It's like stuff like that, like really crazy sci-fi fun stuff, that like unique situations that you always love to see in sci-fi, which is what's like Star Trek is good for, right? And but it's in a board game, so hopefully it's coming soon.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You think that, like, you know, there's specific parameters that a board game has to meet, but I feel like the games that I've been playing with you guys a lot lately have really kind of changed my mentality on that. You know, you don't realize the kind of things that you can do with paper and cardboard and dice, and like how much fun and like, we'll use an example. Now, is this anything like the Betrayal, the playthrough that we did? Now, you guys stay tuned to the channel for that, because that's coming soon for Halloween.
That's a fun playthrough.
Now, is that similar, where the scenarios can change on a dime like that? Like, is it in that way, or is it, because that happens like once in the game where the situation essentially turns on its head, and you get different elements of it? Is that similar to this game you're talking about now, or is it just like different elements? It could possibly be a different situation every time a player takes a turn.
Yeah, there are there are narratives that run through it, but I don't think it's similar.
Okay.
Just I think that game is really unique for what it does. But with Unsettled, it is going to be like there's going to be different places that you're going, and so there's going to be different settings and then like unique themes that fit within each setting related to your survival. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, that game, you know, there aren't many like it. Like there's the only other one that I found like it was Mansions of Madness 2nd edition.
Okay.
You know, it's got an app, but like other than that, it's sort of app based, which does upkeeping. So I want to try it, but like I think that game is really unique.
Right on, right on. So Keshi Queen says, "Hi guys, how are you doing there, darling?"
What's going on, Amber?
Yeah, we just, like I said, we just got home, popped up the stream. We've got 5 people watching right now. If you guys could please do me a favor and make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you guys are new to the Omni Lucid channel, there's just, again, I'm going to reiterate this. There's so much coming to this channel. We've got so much coming up. So if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. This is just part of what we do, talking with, the people who want to either test our games or are interested in our content. So thank you guys so much for coming out. Appreciate that. New subscribers. I'm glad we went into that conversation, but I don't want to get too much off this topic with at least not yet with the new subscribers. Just again, guys, it means the world to us as we try to build this thing. And I believe in this and what you guys are doing so much that I wanted to be a part of this, and I want to help grow this. So far, so good, man. I think things are looking good. And again, thank you to all the new subscribers for coming out, guys. Continue to stay tuned to the channel. Thank you so much. So we have retooled a few things here in Omni Lucid Media. Do we want to fill people in a little bit about that, about some of the changes we made within, I guess I would say, the company or the structure of the company?
Yeah, because I think that's just one thing that I know we've been putting out a bunch of stuff, which I think is common for a new company. Like we're still figuring it out. This is the first time we've done something like this, so obviously, we kind of keep going through changes here and there. But just something that I wanted to talk about, so that people aren't like, well, what the heck is this? Didn't they call it that? And then what? But then they said this. So basically, just like the breakdown of what everything means. So there's Omni Lucid Media, which is basically that's the company as a whole. But because we're hoping to grow this into something a lot bigger, and then still keep the different, I guess we'll call them departments right now. Right now, it's literally just 3 of us, so it's not like actual departments, but just to keep things a little more in line. So if people do like one thing more than another that we're doing, that they can kind of focus on that. So that's where once we had Omni Lucid Media, then we started working on Drakkar, which we were doing that for a while, but now we've switched that up to where that is just going to be Omni Lucid Games. And that will be where any future games that we work on as well, which me and Brian have tons of ideas and stuff that we're working on outside of Drakkar. But yeah, so any games that we are actually working on or developing ourselves, that will be under the OLG or Omni Lucid Games title. And then now the new stuff, which is the Omni Lucid Presents, or the OLP, which is the playthroughs, unboxings, basically just any of the video stuff that we're going to be doing. That's going to be more dedicated to other gaming things, because obviously we want to give shout outs to all the other people in the board game community that are doing cool things, kind of the, hey, this is what we're playing, this is what we're backing, these are the things we're excited about, all that type of stuff. So that's kind of the differences between the two. So if you ever hear any of those different terms of Omni Lucid Media, Omni Lucid Games, Omni Lucid Presents, they all do have their own kind of meaning. But yeah, so just wanted to kind of break that down, so people are like, yeah, what the heck, these guys can't figure out what they want to do with this company. But yeah, it's just, we're breaking it down so it's a little easier to follow as far as what content is under what header, I guess.
Yeah, so basically, like Ryan said, the Omni Lucid Presents is essentially the episode series. It's still us as Omni Lucid Media, but it's we're doing something different than just telling you guys about our game, because and I've told you guys this before. The idea behind it is, it's like you could be in a cover band or you could be in a band and have original music, but people don't want to hear your music unless they know that you can play other people's music. So the idea is to show you guys how much we love board games, how much really these, I love board games too, but these guys, they take it to a whole new level, man. Like, I can't keep up with these guys, but it's good I have them in my life because they can keep, old Ordsy here on the right path. But yeah, these guys love board games so much, man. And it comes across, like, even in the playthroughs, like with Ryan, like, you just see the joy. There's moments where I'm like editing the videos and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, Ryan's happy. Like when you did the unboxing for Super Fantasy Brawl, dude, like the look on your face was just pure like joy. And it shows. So that's awesome, man. Yeah, so don't be too confused about it. Just, really Omni Lucid, and then we have the media department, which I think Matt's kind of a part of that technically, right? Yeah, he's involved in the media side of things. Or
Matt started it with us, but he's basically said that he's kind of stepping out, or maybe he'll step back in at some point when there's something going on that he's interested in.
He's an enigma.
We'll get him.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, that just right there is a testament to there is so much coming to this channel. And hopefully next year, I'm hoping, knock on wood, we actually get to attend Gen Con. And we're going to have coverage. If we do, we're going to have coverage from Gen Con here on the channel, guys. I mean, it's once this whole crazy pandemic thing opens up, it's going to be like board games from wall to wall, getting stuff done, making things happen here with Omni Lucid. But so guys, don't stress too much about the abbreviations of the names. Just know that we're Omni Lucid. We have multiple things that we're doing here on this channel. Stay tuned. But thank you for that breakdown. Brian, is there anything you wanted to add on that with the breakdown of the company?
No, that was good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so moving on to the next subject, let's talk a little bit about Drakkar and some of the things that have changed about that game specific. If you guys don't know, we have videos on the channel. You can check out that explain movements of pieces of our game, Drakkar, that explain the entire board game. Like I said, movements, board games, characters, backstory, history of these characters within the game. So much to watch. So if you guys haven't caught any of that after the stream, go check out some of those. Get an idea of what our game's like. But so new changes to Drakkar.
Yeah, so I'll start it off, and then Brian, you can kind of go through the changes that you've been doing, because so I've been kind of I've been talking to some other people within the board game community, and definitely giving shout outs to those guys. Been talking to Mike over at Pentree Games, was super helpful, and then also Jesse over at Quackalope, which we're hoping to have him do our review of Drakkar when we get to the Kickstarter. He's also been helpful. He's still, I'm still talking back and forth with all these guys. And then most recently, James Hudson from Skybound or Druid City Games. He's the one that I just most recently talked to, and everybody's just been really helpful and really giving us a lot of advice. So we've been, obviously making updates and changes based off of kind of their advice and what we've been finding out, through the manufacturers and all that. Just again, since this is our first one, we're learning as we go, and we're trying to do the best we can with it. So I guess the first major change that you guys will start seeing, I guess it kind of depends what you're looking at. One of the things that me and James talked about was the name Drakkar, which originally it used to be Drakkar Tactics. We kind of went through, and that one wasn't, we love the name because we love Final Fantasy Tactics, but it wasn't really working out for some of the testers and just in general. So then we shortened it down to Drakkar, and now that, just talking with James about that, where he said, hey, we want to make sure that this is really something big, sounding a little more epic. So now we've switched the name up to, which it is still Drakkar. We will still call it Drakkar as the shortened term of it, but the full name of the game is now Drakkar, The Rise of Thoric, sorry. And that is basically just some quick backstory on that is you guys will find out maybe a little bit further in, or definitely if you back the game, that Thoric is one of the characters, and that is who you are primarily following through Drakkar. He is one of the chieftains, and it will all make sense then, but I don't want to go into that too much just yet. Right. So that's one of the biggest. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, that's cool. Give them a little bite-sized bits to nibble on until the big reveals, man.
Yeah, we got a pretty big there's definitely a backstory to everything for especially for anybody that's seen kind of the detail that went into when I've gone into like the history of the pieces and why we've done things and all that. So yeah, there's definitely backstory behind all this stuff. But then on top of that, it's been a lot of changes to the layout or to the art itself and just to the pieces. So I will let Brian go ahead and explain, those things that we've done. And I think Ords has a image too that he can show you guys. I don't know if you guys are up.
Which image? Do I have it?
Was it the card? I don't know if Brian had time to actually get it sent over to you. No?
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh.
It's okay. See, this is why Brian's got to get on his computer so he can just, because I can share his screen and then he doesn't have to send me it. It's all right there on his computer. But he's a boomer, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I am not. So
I'm not a boomer.
But go on.
So it's one thing to make art for a game, and it's another thing to do graphic design for a game, right? And so I'm just about done. Getting through most of the art with Jakar and getting to a point where you got to start actually doing some graphic design and like doing layouts and stuff like that. So what I've been doing is just been addressing sort of like the icons and the way that we're communicating information in the game using images, and you can do it very efficiently if you do it right. And so the challenge so far is the challenge now has been, how do we lay out the cards? How do we lay out the instruction book in a way that's both easy to read and informative, but also isn't bogged down. So like you want to convey a lot of information, but you want to do it in a aesthetically pleasing way and efficient way, and all these things. It's juggling all at once.
Let me ask you this: Do you feel like it's harder to figure out those sorts of logistics of like fitting everything on, make sure it's explained well enough, or the art aspect of it? You're essentially your main role within OmniLucid. What do you think is harder, figuring out how to get that all to fit and make sense, or your art? What do you think is more difficult?
At this point, it's the graphic design, and it's simply because in order to know whether or not it fully works, you need outside feedback. So there's a delay, right? When a composition isn't working or color scheme isn't working, you can kind of figure it out pretty quickly because it's just not working for you. But like when you're doing graphic design on something that you already know the internal structure of, that internal knowledge of the game like biases you. And so you're like, oh, they'll understand what it means. And then you put it down and then people play it and they're like, I don't understand this. And you're like, oh, okay, this is why. And so you're kind of blindsided sometimes, and you need that feedback. So there's a delay on that. And so that's what makes it the most challenging.
So it's much.
One sec here, Jordan. I'll share my screen so that they can see it, and then Brian can explain it.
Okay, that's perfect.
So let me just.
So what you're saying is when you first start, there's nothing to compare to. There's nothing to put side by side, whether it be commentary from somebody who's experiencing it or whatever. You're starting essentially from nothing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, here we go. All right.
It's a educated guess, and so what we're looking at right here is the second draft of our reference card. We originally were building the referencing of the game into the player mats, which were also like, you're storing your pieces and you're laying down your cards. But we thought, if we're creating icons to sort of describe things like health and shield. So you see on the top, you got the heart, you got the shield, you got the this action, attack, and movement. So you got like, you're building these images that can represent these concepts, and then you can convey a lot more in much less space. So we were like, well, let's see if we can put all this information onto a card, front and back. And so that was the challenge, right? And so, I think we did it. I think we figured it out.
Well, the original was on a player board, correct?
Yeah, it was much bigger, player board, a lot of words. It was really, it was thick, right? I mean, it wasn't easy to reference. So I think this is easier to reference. It's a quicker glance sort of thing. It conveys the essential information we need to convey, and if you need more, then there's the instruction book.
Let me put it this way to the people out here watching. And for those of you who are new here, I see we got people who have come in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, down below. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscription button. Yeah, we're gonna be popping off here. So the original player, well, before even the original player board, there was you basically had like pieces of paper stapled. I remember when this game was like literally in its first like inception, it's baby like fetus stage, for lack of a better term. And I remember having to go back and reference the paper. Wait, let's flip over to this. Like, wait, that's the chieftain. Okay, I gotta. Okay, no, that's the. Yeah, no, I remember that. So, to
the original rule book.
Yeah. So to see it, come this far, in just to show you guys, it shows you guys the dedication you have, and it wasn't that long ago that that's what we were doing, was referencing the rule book, printed out pages stapled together. So we need, in needing to do more play testing for the multiplayer, this was one of those things that was like, look, we need it to be more accessible for people, right.
It's that point, it's that time to, and the fun thing about a project like this is like, realizing the stage you're in once you're in it, and then having to like, okay, this is what we need to do now.
Right.
And so that's kind of what this has been.
Right on. No, absolutely. Feel free, guys, in the chat, if you guys want to ask questions. We will answer any questions that you guys have for us. So make sure you drop those in the chat, please. Ryan, do you have anything to add here with anything to add here
with Jakar?
Yes, with like what's new, what's mechanics, things like that.
Yeah, so the like Brian was saying, and I threw up the Archer and Shield Maiden side there as well. Just again, because it's a little bit different, so you can kind of see the little I always say it kind of looks like a Ferris wheel, but it's just the can go in any direction symbol.
Gotcha.
But yeah, this was one that, and like as I said before, just kind of talking and getting feedback. I believe this was actually one talking to Mike from Pentree Games, who's doing On the Rocks, which is Kickstarter and still on its way out at some point.
That game looks very interesting. If you guys like to drink, if you're a savvy drinker, this is probably a game for you, man.
He actually just put out a update, and I need to message him about it, because he put out an update where they were doing something like these new kind of marbles that are acrylic and not glass, and they look really cool. Like they honestly look, it looks like the inside of them are actually liquid, which is really cool, because the marbles are supposed to be ingredients going in the drink. But yeah, so this was one of the things where me and him were talking. He played Jakar on Tabletop Simulator with me, and then he kind of gave me some pointers and things that he saw. And this was just one where he's trying to help us out with manufacturing costs, and that was because the player board was going to be a lot bigger, which means it meant it was going to be heavier. And he was just saying, hey, if you can get that quick reference down to a card, it's going to be a lot cheaper, because obviously a little tiny playing card is a lot less than how much cardboard it was going to be for this. So this was what came out of that kind of suggestion and help that he was given there, and like Brian was saying with the images, so the cards themselves are all going to get a little bit of an update. And so, well, I should give credit to both people. So the idea of putting it on a card was one of Mike's, but Scotty from Blacklist Games was the one who mentioned, hey, you guys should try and use symbols, because you'll use a lot less words and it'll take up a lot less space. So, so that's where we came up with the symbols and all that. But then also with the cards themselves in Jakar, they are also going to be color coordinated now as well, so that when you have action cards, they have a red background. If you have a maneuver card, they have a blue background. So that's just another thing that when you go to look at your hand, you're going to quickly see like what type of card it is that you're playing. So just small little details that should hopefully help make the game just. I don't know if it'll make it necessarily quicker, but definitely easier to understand as to what's going on.
A little more streamlined without having to compromise gameplay.
Yeah. And then I don't think I have. No, I don't have any images of that. But yeah, just the more updates that have happened. We're working on potentially changing up if the damage markers with the arrows becomes an issue. We have come up with a solution that we think will still be just as cool. I'm not going to mention that yet, just in case.
Well, real quick, can you explain the like how it is as of right now, like with the damage markers?
Yeah, how it is right now is that the damage markers are going to look kind of like little arrows. They're basically just small sticks, but and then when a piece takes damage, you stab it into that piece to keep track of how much damage they've taken. So it's just a very cool aesthetic thing about the game, because as your pieces are getting more and more hurt, they're filling up with arrows, so you can tell like, oh man, that guy's got a bunch of arrows in him. He's not looking too good.
Yeah, it starts to look a little like a real battlefield. As the game goes on and characters start getting damaged, it can get a bit chaotic on the battlefield. Yes.
Yeah, so that's how they are now. But if it becomes an issue with manufacturing, which that's been the seems like to be the biggest issue right now, is if they're going to be able to produce, either the pieces with that small of a hole in them, and also if they'll be able to produce the damage markers that small. Nobody said no yet. They've all just voiced their concerns about it. So we're hoping. We'll see what happens.
Well, I was going to say that's been a concern since the beginning, essentially, right? Like since you really first started talking to these people, that's from the beginning. That's been like, well, and you guys are kind of stuck on that. Like I like the element of that. I personally, as a to use a better term, to lack of a better term, normie or somebody who a casual board game player, I like the aesthetic of that. It makes me feel like I've actually done something. You know what I mean? Like I've got a tangible view of something that I did, not just a counter or something on a thing. It's a visual representation of battle. I love that.
Yeah, and all the playtesters that have gotten a chance to play the physical game have all said the same thing. Everybody loves it. So that's why we're really hoping we can keep it. But even if we can't keep it exactly how it is, Brian came up with a pretty decent, pretty good idea how to still keep that feel as best we can and hopefully make it easier to actually manufacture the pieces. So that's all upcoming. But those are some of the changes to Jakar right now. And I can't remember if we said in our last one, but definitely anybody that watches this, either watching now or watches later, we're definitely looking for play testers. We'd really love to get some more blind play tests in just to see, make sure the rules and all that make sense to people. There is a tabletop simulator mod. So, with COVID and everything, so you can still play the game, play test it for us. Let us know what you think ahead of time. It works a little bit different.
I don't mean to interrupt, but literally, like right now, guys, like right now, during the stream, if you wanted to, if you had Tabletop Simulator, you could go in and play our game. As of right now, you don't even have to wait for the game to come out if you really want to get an idea of what this game is about. And I was plugging the channel last night. I was up at like 2:30 in the morning on a stream, plugging Omni Lucid, and telling everybody that if you guys want, if you know me or if you know one of these guys, reach out to us. I'll play the game with you. I know the creators right here, so if I have questions, we can get those questions answered immediately. So if you guys have any interest in playing this, like I'm thinking maybe even on my channel, we'll one night play that game. I'll have these guys on, and we'll With 4-player? Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay, now we're talking about something because we do have a 4-player mode in this game. If you guys want to talk a little bit about that, we can. But if you guys feel comfortable with me, or we can do 4-player. I mean, like we got 3 right here. Anybody else want to join? The idea is we want to play test this game. We want to find where the holes are. We want to see what we need to fix, patch up, change. You guys get the idea. So please. Reach out to us, guys, if you have any interest in playing this game. We can stream it on my channel. We'll stream it on this channel. Whatever you guys want to do, let's make it happen.
Yep, definitely.
So any other changes that we've had to the game? I can't remember. I know we talked about the different terrains that the different battlefields will have access to in this game.
That's the 4-player stuff.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that's what needs to be play tested the most, and like I said, the blind play testing, because we've kind of been there for a lot of them. I've only had a few blind play tests. For anybody that doesn't know what that means, the blind play test is literally that I would still host the game, but I would literally just watch. I wouldn't say anything. I'd let you kind of stumble and fall on your own if there's anything for you to stumble on.
Come
hopefully
on, man!
Hopefully
you want
there
me to
isn't.
win one game. I just want to win one game.
But yeah, so that's what blind play testing is, just that you wouldn't be playing with us. It's basically as if you had just bought this game off the shelf, took it home, and you were looking at the rule book. So that's one of them. And then, like we were saying, the 4-player, which we've play tested it. That one, 4-player needs the most play testing, just because at this point, me and Brian are the only two where we've done it, and we've just both, we've two-handed it, so where we were both just playing. We both played,
two armies,
two different, so yeah, but that's where the terrain comes in, which adds a fun little feature, and makes it to where there's different things that can happen. It does extend the board a little bit, but luckily the terrain features also make it, entirely the actual land battle side has a completely different deck. So the only thing that stays the same is class cards. But that deck has ways to move faster, so you can get across the board. So it doesn't really hinder you as far as being further away, or at least we don't think, but that's what we want to play test and find out.
Absolutely. Our friend, Mad Respect TV, how long has the 4-player mode run on average? Or how long does a 4-player mode run on average? Is it FFA or is it a co-op featured?
I don't know what FFA is.
Free-for-all?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Brian, you want to take that one? I feel like I've been talking nonstop.
Yeah, you have. No, I'm just kidding.
What's up, Mad Respect? It's good to see you, buddy. Hey,
He's a good guy. He's been here for like every stream. So mad respect to you, man, for being here and showing the love and support.
Check out his channel too.
All right. Yeah. I'll go over. I'll grab a link while you're explaining it. We'll get the link in the chat for everybody to his channel.
So if you're familiar with the game and how it works, the multiplayer, is going to add a little bit of time to a normal playthrough, just because you're working with someone else. It is a co-op and not a free-for-all. Although, I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't be a free-for-all, I guess, too. But it's co-op, so you're working with a team. That's how we've geared it. And it, I think the average playthrough is like, I mean, I've seen games go as fast as 5 minutes and, as long as an hour. So, yeah, I think the multiplayer fits really well within that, really depending on, if somebody really messes up their strategy and you have the right strategy from the beginning, it's very easy to wipe somebody out pretty quickly, as Jordan knows really well. So,
Thank you for that. Now I got to come after both of you. It's not enough that I got to add little silly jokes in the videos saying that I'm going to get Ryan. Now I got to get you too. All right, it's on. But anyway, go on.
No, that's pretty much it. It's yeah. We wanted a co-op experience as opposed to a free-for-all, just because of the way that the board is set up and the obstacles on the board with the high terrain and traps and things like that. So we thought it would be fun to have it so where you could get a card and perform a combo with your teammate and get yourself closer to victory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, Mad Respect TV, thank you for the question, my friend. Not only do you have another subscriber with at least me, we got your link there in the chat. So, guys, make sure you go check out Mad Respect TV. Looks like he's got some pretty good stuff on his channel. I'm just kind of perusing it real quick, but there's a link. Go over. Let's show some Mad Respect to Mad Respect TV, guys. All right. So those are the biggest changes to the Jakar. That you guys have come up since the last time we had a little Q&A then?
Yep.
Yeah. We're just refining, and we're getting we kind of have more of an idea of when we want to launch, and so we have a general target range, and so we're kind of heading in that direction, and so it's just starting to sweep some things up.
Absolutely, man. That's good. Yeah, no, here's the thing. And I've said this before on the channel, this game to me is one of those games that, like, even if you lose, you still had a good time playing this game. And I have yet to play the 4-player. So we're gonna be in touch with maybe setting up a stream on my channel for a 4-player. My channel's kind of become one of these things where people just like to rag on me. So I think that would be a good stream to do where you guys come in and just wipe the floor with me. And I think people would get a good kick out of that. But no, I definitely want to try that 4-player. I know we didn't get a chance to do that the last time we were together. We got to do that. Absolutely. 4-player, no doubt. So yeah, Mad Respect TV says, thank you, fellas. Absolutely, man. Thank you seriously, like, thank you so much for all the support. He says, what is the current best location to see information for play testing? Sorry, I'm late to the party. You're never late to the party. You're always right on time, brother, because we got these guys here and they can fill you in. So does somebody want to take that? What is the current best location to see information for play testing?
Right.
Information. If you're asking for like where to figure out like how to play test, we do have a play testing group on Facebook. It's just the Jakar playtest group. If you reach out to any of us, we can get you to the right area there. But yeah, that would be the main place that you can do it. Or if you just, again, if you want to reach out to us just regularly on Facebook or anything.
Since you were the one that set that group up, can anybody join that group?
I believe it is a closed group.
You can request.
Yes, you can request. Anybody can request, but it is closed just in case there's stuff in there that we may not want to reveal yet. But yeah, anybody can ask to play.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat to that. If you want to head over there, Mad Respect TV on Facebook, send a request, and I'll make sure and see to it that these knuckleheads accept your invitation to the playtest group. And if they don't, I will fight each and one of them on YouTube. It'll be great. So yeah, I'll put that link in the chat in just a moment here. So with real quick, while you guys are finishing up here talking about the changes that we've done to Jakar, is there any other changes that you're thinking about implementing? Is there things that you've kind of like at this point where you're like, well, we kind of have this idea that we might throw in last minute, anything like that going on?
Actually, yeah. And it's not an afterthought. It was something that, something that we decided we had to do, just with the addition in the name, right? So it's the rise of Thoric, and but who is Thoric? So earlier on, Ryan and I worked on a story to implement a comic to give you an idea of who Thoric is and why you should care, right? Because this will eventually tie into the next game. So that so it's a bit of a series, even though the next game is going to play completely different from this game. So, but there's going to be the next game is a continuation, and so but a continuation from what? So with the addition of the name, it was like, all right, we know for sure now that we're going to implement this story that we wrote. And so yeah, that's been kind of like the latest big decision on. We already had it planned, but we just weren't sure if it was right for the game or if we were going to do it or where we were at with it. But just with the feedback we've been getting, and it was kind of a no-brainer. It's like, all right, this is the kind of feedback we're getting, and this is kind of what what it falls in line with what we wanted to do originally anyway. So it makes it easy to be like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, right on. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like it. I mean, and that's the thing. And you guys have talked about possible expansions and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it just makes it a little bit easier, I think, to distinguish between expansions or packs and stuff like that. Because if it just everything just says Drakkar, then I mean, how do you know? And you don't want to make it confusing to the consumer. Consumer, as far as I understand, consumers like it kind of straightforward. But yeah, that's awesome, man. I love the new name, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, there is that issue with board games, and I've seen it with Dominion's a good one, right? Because it's like, oh, I played Dominion, and it's like, oh, what version, and different versions are accessible to different styles of play, and so like after a while, it's like you start talking about more the version of the game than the actual game name itself, and the game itself is fantastic, but like, we wanted to avoid people being confused on what game we're talking about. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Okay, cool, man. Well, that's super awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad it's just like it's like a constant like working things out. I'm noticing when it comes to building something like this. And I've had aspirations to like write stories and do animated stuff with some people, but it's just so much work. And I appreciate you guys taking all this on and building something great for people to enjoy, man. So I appreciate that very much. So, all right, so we're going to move on to the next subject. Let's talk a little bit about the new segment that we have on the channel, the OmniLucid Presents. I want to touch base on that because I feel like this is something that's going to be really good for the channel. It's going to be something that's going to help build our brand and make connections with other game creators. So you want to touch a little bit on the OmniLucid Presents going forward?
Yeah, so we just, like I said kind of earlier, where we came up with the idea of doing OmniLucid Presents just because we're playing board games all the time. Obviously, there's a lot of other content creators out there that, playing games and playthroughs and everything else. And we're playing them anyway. So we figured, hey, we got the setup. Why not record them? And then people can join in there and watch us play some games. So obviously right now, actually, I think all of them so far have just been me and Ashley playing, which, I guess a majority of them will be, but we also have, like Jordan said, we have the Champions of Midgard one that he's going to get out here, I guess, after this one, which is awesome. I think that might be my favorite one that we've recorded so far, just because you guys will get
the longest edit forever and ever and ever. But no,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It was, and everyone will get to see a little bit more of, just us kind of goofing around and us hanging out, and just the, random stupid stuff that we're saying and doing, which, yeah, it's just a good time. So we got a good amount of backlog of stuff for that. But as me and Brian get stuff, and Jordan too, if he wants to throw down and get in some videos, that we're going to start putting out some more unboxings, especially with Kickstarter stuff that's coming in, because I know a lot of people, I mean, I love watching unboxing videos and the first playthroughs when people are getting them, it's a lot of fun to watch. Plus it's usually pretty informative to kind of let me know, like, oh yeah, I screwed up that rule. I was doing that wrong. So it's something that we're thinking, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. But because we're just starting now, we are going to throw in some games that, maybe they've been out forever. Maybe they've been out for a year. Who knows? But I mean, like Champions of Midgard, I didn't look it up to see when that actually came out. But I know that's been out for a while now. But I'm still really excited to put it out there, and hopefully people will want to watch it just to see what we're doing.
Now I know the audience wants to know. And I don't actually know this, but we're going to go ahead and assume that this is what the audience wants. When are we getting the playthrough of Candyland?
So one of us would have to own Candyland. I don't.
I think I got a copy from like the 80s, maybe. I'll have to dig through some stuff and see, but
might have to see Target or Walmart or some of those. I feel like they do old school game. I mean, it's like the reprints and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
No,
you'd have to look and see.
Mousetrap. That's what I want to.
Oh, that's a good one. We should do a funny like old school game segment.
The retro games.
Yeah. Hey, when we do Crossfire, that's Brian and I. We going at it with the Crossfire. Remember?
I love
be
Crossfire.
caught in the Crossfire. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, I know that's not quite a tabletop game, but I mean,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. You play
well,
it on
I guess
tabletop.
it is. I guess it is. But I guess when I think of tabletop, I think of like, you got to build stuff. There's like process to it where that's just strictly pew, 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 pew. Maybe like a review of Hungry Hippos. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I know they came out with more Hungry Hippos. So, but yeah, we're as we keep going forward, we'll definitely be just putting more stuff out. Hopefully everybody's liking the videos. I know Ashley's kind of the newcomer to where she's I don't know, I guess eventually she's just going to be like another one of the people within at least the Omni Lucid Presents. But yeah, I know like the Super Fantasy Brawl, we had a lot of fun with it. That one we already have. As soon as we played it, it's such a fun game that right away me and Ashley played a second game. And then we decided, well, we need to make this a tournament. So we're going to record all of them. If people want to see all of them, then we can definitely put them out there. We even talked about maybe making the championship like a live stream or something.
That's what I'm. Oh, it's like you and I we're just vibing the same wavelengths, man. I love that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then I know I think that's like the video that had the most views for us. It was up over.
Oh, it's insane.
It was over 150.
We're pushing we're pushing almost 200 here shortly. 200 views on that video.
Yeah, so, and I'm going to be playing
for all you guys who came out to check out that video and who subbed because of that video. Thank you guys. Stay tuned, man.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a game of it with another content creator, and that's Matt Piak, I think is how he says his name. Sorry if I said that wrong, Matt. But his his channel is Neoprene Play Matt. MATT. So, a little play on words there. But yeah, he reached out to me after seeing our video and said I really liked it. Me and him have been talking back and forth. So we set something up. So we're going to be playing a game of Super Fantasy Brawl. I don't know if it'll be streamed or what we're going to do with it.
So which video did he find, or which video did he watch?
Pretty sure he found the unboxing video is where he found us and subscribed to us. But then when he did, I let him know, hey, we got a playthrough coming. And now since that's been out, we went back and forth a few more times. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Look at you, man. You got these big wigs coming around and hanging out with us, man. Like that's pretty darn cool. I just gotta say, that's pretty cool. And again, that just kind of goes to show you, man, when you guys have passion about something, if you put the work in, push and reach out to people, make connections, good things happen, man. So we'll leading that into the next segment. Hold on real quick. What was that last part I wanted to touch base on? Okay. Yeah, let's move into the next segment here where we're going to be talking about content creators, other board game guys, since we're talking about that now. One quick question before we actually dive into, showing some love to some of these people in the board game community. Do we have any interviews coming up? Do we have any, are we able to interview any of these people for the channel?
I don't know. I could honestly ask and see. I don't think we have any interviews. I don't know. I'd have to see who'd be willing to do it or who'd want to do something like that. That's usually your department, bud.
Yeah, well, all the people, so that's why I asked you, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously now that we're kind of just building our community more and networking more so and all that, obviously all the bigger guys and the other board game that are already established, like companies in that, they're usually going to be busy, but who knows? Maybe we'll work something out here.
We'll reach out to them. So make sure you bigwigs out there check your Twitters because it's coming. All right, but yeah, so let's acknowledge some of these creators, man. Some of these people who either we look up to or who have inspired you or collaborated with you thus far. What do you guys have to say about that?
Brian, you want to go first? I have a ton, so which I've kind of been saying them as we go. So
Right.
You know, that's I've been making connections on the art end, but that's really kind of been your thing. Like I'm
yeah. I was trying to remember because I knew like you talked about like the
We
art.
quiet down, Brian, and let Ryan talk. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I also can't recall anyone's name. So yeah.
Dude, that's why we're friends, man.
Yeah, well, Brian does more of the Instagram stuff, and I know he's been talking to more people on there. So that's where I couldn't remember, all of their Instagram people, but yeah, no, I honestly started networking at Gen Con last year. Probably even a little bit before that, but obviously I made some connections there. I've definitely kept that going. The big ones being Blacklist Games with Adam and Brady, and like I said, with Scotty, that I'm always supporting those guys and always kind of bugging them and asking them questions and that. So they're a big one, but yeah, again, like Mike from Pentry Games.
Hey, real quick, I got a question you could ask him. Can you do these guys?
Oh,
you're talking about? Yeah. Because you're always asking them questions. I got a question for you. You should You should ask them for an interview.
I can tell you for certain, without even asking them at Blacklist, there is no way, because they have so many things happening right now. It is ridiculous. They like hit overdrive in this last. It seems like just this last month, because they have Alter Quest, which is shipping now, and I cannot wait. As soon as that shows up, that's going to be like an emergency edition of Omni Lucid Presents, because I'm going to just want it out as fast as possible. But so they have Alter Quest shipping. They currently have their Indiegogo campaign going for a new Street Masters expansion. It's also I think they're calling it like their reprint as well, so you can pick up just about pretty much just about all of their Street Masters content through that campaign. Like I said, it's a reprint, but it also has some the new Street Masters Tide of the Dragon in there as well. On top of that, they have their Contra and now Buddy Cop pre-order stuff that went live.
Nice.
And with this weekend was Essen Spiel, which is the big board game convention in Germany. So it was the Essen Digital. So they had stuff going on with that. They've been doing play tests and videos and interviews and all that all weekend long. And then on Tuesday, they have their Dire Alliance campaign, Dire Alliance and Horror series minis campaign coming up, or releasing. So yeah, those guys are insanely busy right now. But
I'm sure.
Maybe sometime in the future, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, like I said, there's Mike over at Pentry. There's just like the real quick version, like I already said, everybody, but Mike at Pentry, James at Skybound with Druid City Games. They have him. I'm waiting on Tidal Blades. That's another one that should be showing up very soon. So I have a lot of Kickstarter content that it all got held up because of COVID, and now it's all basically like getting shipped at the same time. So I'm just going to have a bunch of giant packages on my doorstep probably, but Tidal Blades is coming out for them. I'm sure they have another campaign. I think it's like called Bloodstone, if I remember right. I don't remember for sure, but they, Skybound always has stuff coming out. And then, like I said, Jesse from Quackalope, who does all the reviews and stuff. He's another just working machine where he basically he has new stuff come out practically every day. If you join his Discord, which I'm a part of, they have video updates, and I'm pretty sure it's like every day, hey, Jesse put out a new video. So he's constantly doing all the review videos for any Kickstarters that have come out. So like right now there's Darkest Dungeon, there's he did Veiled Fate, which came out a couple weeks ago. There's Townsfolk Tussle, there's
I watched his Dark Dungeon video, and what I like about it is he knew right away where everyone was going to go with that video, and so he made a point to just talk about, do the general overview, but then just talk about like, how is this game different from the video game, because they're using the video game to promote the board game. So how is it different? And that's one of the things that like a lot of people right away were like, trying to figure that out, right? So like I really liked that video that he put out.
I have to check that one out. So we have been graced with somebody very special here in the chat, guys. Mr. Fat Steven Seagal, beat up Trailblazer. How are you, Mr. Fat Steven Seagal? Continue to beat up Trailblazer. We appreciate that. He says, "Can I have a look at everyone's hair, please?"
A lock of everyone's hair.
Oh, can I have a lock? Oh, sorry. Can I have a lock of everyone's hair, please?
That seems really risky around Halloween. Like voodoo dolls are going to be getting made or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Fast Steven Skull's got some. He's got some ulterior motives here. He's a witch. If you didn't know that, it's how he got his karate ninja powers. Is by casting spells with.
You're not a witch.
Fast Steven Skulls. He's an amazing supporter in the community that I'm a part of, and he's a great dude. Solid guy, always there for you. And he's actually he's gonna hopefully, I don't know if he got back. I have to check my DMs because I'm terrible at that. But he's supposed to be coming to color commentate on my stream tonight. He is absolutely hilarious. I think you guys would love him. Yeah, Fat Steven Seagal, man. Thank you so much. As he says, special, like short but special. Maybe. Yes, short, but we'll go with that. Anyway, Fat Steven Seagal is a great guy. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, Ryan, these people that you've been reaching out to, man, I've checked out some of their channels, and they're good people, man. They seem like solid people. They know what they're talking about. They know their stuff. And I think those are the people that we need to surround ourselves with and learn from. And yeah, Quackalope, man. I kind of watched a few of his videos, man. And I like that guy. He's pretty cool.
Yep.
And you got to meet him, right?
I met him at Gen Con, and it was kind of a real quick meeting at Gen Con. At that point, I had no idea who he was. Honestly, the only reason I even said something was because he was ending up in all the panels that I was in, and that's because he was doing the video coverage for Gen Con. And so I kept seeing him in every panel. I'm like, man, what is the... So I was just like, hey man, I'm like, you're in all these, like, what's going on? And, he told me, at that point he was still fairly new and just starting out, but now he's just exploded and gotten, huge. So, but no, yeah, I talked to him more recently the other day. When, like I said, when we were reaching out about him doing, I'm really hoping to have him do the, review or preview, whichever one we go with. On Drakkar.
Right on, man. Yeah, no, look, I hope so, man. I can't wait to get to that point. Whatever we got to do to get to that point, man. I would love to see our game. I mean, did he say he would review it on his channel, or did he?
Oh yeah, no, he did. Yeah, he has his own. It would be a Quackalope thing, but yeah, man, no, I definitely want to.
Woo!
Yep, and then we would obviously, link his review in the Kickstarter so everybody could see it, along with whichever other people we end up going with, which, we'll figure that out when it gets closer.
For sure. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this up, guys. We covered everything that's changed with the company, the structure of the company. We talked a little bit about content creators that we draw inspiration from, that we look forward to reviewing some of our games. Talked a little bit about the changes within our game Drakkar, what we have coming up with as long as playthroughs. So make sure everybody out there's watching, hit that like button. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Stay tuned, guys, because I promise you it's just going to be such fun, man. I can just see all kinds of fun going on in this channel here in the near future. So stay tuned. Real quick, let's go through again. Brian, can you tell everybody where they can find you personally if they need to get a hold of you, my friend?
Yeah. Brian Skull on Instagram or Brian Skull Art on Instagram or Omnilucid Media on Instagram. That's probably the place I'm at the most.
And do you have anything to say to these beautiful new subscribers to our channel?
Oh, thank you, everybody. I mean, this is great. Like it's always fun seeing something grow from nothing to, even what it is right now is just like, well, and I want to thank both of you guys, because just like you guys have been doing a lot of the work on this end, and it's been awesome to see. So
it's been a blast and a journey, man. Learning from you guys and trying to build something great. So thank you, man, for being here. Ryan, let everybody know where they can find you and what you have to say to these beautiful people watching.
You can just find me at OmniLucid stuff. This is my life. So, so yeah, all the OmniLucid Facebook page. So I manage. Well, manage. I do more of the Facebook stuff, where, like we said, Brian's more on the Instagram. But I always kind of keep an eye on all of it. So if you want to reach out, definitely that way, or the YouTube comments. I try my best to keep up on those as well. And yeah, like Brian said, just thank you to everyone that's joining, subscribing, watching, commenting, all that stuff. It's great. I'm really happy that so many people have joined on. I really look forward to how many more. And yeah, obviously it's been awesome with the two of you guys. Brian tries to downplay it like he's not doing anything. Me and Jordan are just on here making videos while Brian's like mad scientist in his studio, just sitting there like, get this thing.
Scanning stuff, sculpting stuff. Like, yeah, he's honestly, man, like, yeah, we're gonna have to give him a bonus, right? I think when this game launches, we're gonna have to give him a bonus. Real quick before we head out, Severon says, "Hail and congrats on your progression in developing Drakkar game mechanics." Thank you, Severon. Severon's another great supporter of everything that like I do, and he's just a good guy to have on your side. So, Severon, thank you so much for coming to hang out, man. We appreciate you very much. And send our love to you, man. Hopefully your weekend's going well. But so guys, make sure you check out the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, the socials for new information and lots of posts coming from Drakkar. I know Brian's over there working hard on the Instagram. He's posting stuff every single day. The Twitter's posting stuff every day. We've got Ryan down there who's pushing content, making content, just trying to make sure he entertains you guys. So thank you all for coming through. We appreciate that. Again, check out the social medias. My name is OLG. You guys can find me on my channel over at youtube.com/ORGSBoard, where I'm doing pop culture news and commentary throughout the week, gaming, video game streams on the weekend. Tonight we have Sunday Night Hangs and Video Games. It's our regular thing we're doing. We're playing Dead Island in honor of Halloween. So if you guys have nothing going on tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, make sure you come check that out. We'll be hanging out, and I will answer any questions, OmniLucid or ORGSBoard related, in the chat. So make sure you guys come hang out. Make sure you subscribe to this channel here for the latest and greatest updates, not only in the board game spectrum, but in our personal experience building this company, building this game. So thank you all for coming out, man. We appreciate everything you guys do for us, and that'll do it for us here at OmniLucid. We love all of you guys. We'll catch you guys later. Peace, guys.
Later.
See ya.